Mark Raymundi from MMAfighting.com here in Tokyo, Japan with Demetrious Johnson. One championship, a new era is over. Demetrious, you won by a second round submission against Yuya Wakamatsu in the first round of the Flyweight Grand Prix. Immediate thoughts about first one fight, first one victory?
Yeah, obviously it was first round was a little rough, but we got our wits about us and we kept the pressure, and that was the game plan. Yuya Wakamatsu, he likes to have his opponents. He likes to be able to sit there and move around and throw the right hand, left hook, right hand, and we knew we had to put the pressure on him. I knew if I did that, I would run into a little bit of trouble because I'm engaging. I'm engaged. I'm not trying to draw him out. So great first fight. I'm happy with the victory. I got the finish. That's mostly important, is that going out there finishing, not going to the decision. And I'm happy and ready for the next round.
Does it feel different at all? I mean, this whole week was probably a little bit different, but when you're in the cage and you're in Asia now, you're in Japan. Is it a whole different deal than being in the UFC and what you were used to before?
100%. At the beginning of my career, I said at the press conference that I never wanted to travel and compete abroad. It's because there's a lot that goes into it. The time zone, you're in there. I basically came to his hometown where he is known for and basically finished him. So there's a lot that goes into it, but and it was different just because the needs of the ground opponent. I was able to do that, add that into my game. I was a little bit worried about that when we had like a little exchange, a scramble, and I was on my back and I was trying to keep my hands between my crotch, just because if he was going to throw a knee to my face when my head was back against the cage, I was aware I was protecting myself. So it is definitely different rule sets, different. Everything's different. Weight cut is different. Now I'm not fighting guys who are 5'3", 5'4". I'm fighting guys who are like 5'5", 5'7". So yeah, it's different. Like, I'm back to being the smallest guy in a division, height-wise, but weight-wise, we're all the same.
Will the weight stuff change how you prepare in the future, or will you possibly move down in weight?
No, I can't make 125 hydrated. I can't do it, and I don't want to go through the lifestyle changes to do that. I'm a martial artist. I'm in that point in my career now that I'm focused on just keep training, get strong. This morning I woke up weighing 136.4. So that's one thing I like about the hydrated weight cut, right? Because I weighed in 135 2 days in a row, and to be able to turn back around on competition day, your body won't do very well trying to hold on that weight because you kept your weight down that long. So I'm just gonna go back home, lift weights, and see if I put some more muscle on me. But at the same time, it's gonna have to come back off.
And do you know when they're going to want you to turn around and fight again?
I can't tell you that, dog. I can't tell you that.
So you do know.
I do know. But right now I'm just going to go back home, relax, spend time with my wife, my children, take my teammates out, and just enjoy this victory.
You said you were a little bit tight at the press conference coming into the night. Why was that?
Like I said, man, it's been since 2009 since I didn't have Matt Hume in my corner. And when I first started fighting as an amateur, Matt was sit on the sideline, and he couldn't speak because it was his cards I was fighting on. And he was like, "It's back to the very beginning again." Like, when you first started fighting, I was watching you like Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat, and then I got in your corner, and then we were doing everything. And then now I'm back sitting on the outskirts watching you compete. And he's like, "This is your evolution as a martial artist. Like, I've given you all the tools that you need to be a world champion and to win every single fight. But now you have to go out there and win them. And my teammates, James and Tony, have to basically relay me." And they did an amazing job. I came back, they breathe. You got to keep him honest, keep him guessing, put something in front of him to keep him busy so he's not just looking for the uppercut, what I got hit with. But we're happy.
You said you were in the same locker room as Timothy Nostukin, and you watched a little bit of the fight with Eddie Alvarez and him. What are your thoughts on that? And what is the takeaway? Is the takeaway like, hey, one has some legitimate high-level talent on its roster?
This is the biggest thing that it irritates me a little bit. Doesn't matter what organization you fight for. The light heavyweight champion, John Jones, could come over here and fight An Lan Song, and An Lan Song will probably give him a run for his money, or potentially beat him. Who else? What is another champion? Habib Nurmagomedov, he might be able to come over here and he might blow through everybody, but he might have some tough matches. And the list just goes on and on and on. So it doesn't matter if you fight for one, UFC, Bellator, Deep, Ryzen, whatever. Every athlete can lose on any given day. And that's a problem that with these the casual fans or even the hardcore fans, they think that just because you fight for the biggest organization in the world means you're absolutely the best fighter in the world. And that's a problem. That's a problem of the sport, right? It's like if you play for the NFL, you're better than Arena Football League or Canada Football League. No, I'm pretty sure, if you play a team, you might get beat that day. Even though you're better, you might get beat. So, I think that fight between Timothy Nasunukin against Eddie Alvarez was a great fight. Timothy is very good. That was the first time I ever seen him fight, and then I saw some of his highlights, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be a good fight because I know Eddie, he likes to stand and bang, and Timothy will do the same thing. And once again, Eddie's fighting bigger dudes. Like somebody was like, damn, Timothy's huge. Which I'm sure Eddie's used to fighting guys who are, 5'8", maybe 5'9". I don't know how big he was. But, Eddie will bounce back. He'll go home and re-figure things out and see where he goes from there.
So you're watching that fight. Can you let that maybe someone could let that get in their head a little bit? Where you and Eddie are kind of coming over here. It's not a package deal, but you guys are the UFC stars coming over, former champs, and you see him lose, and you got to go on next. So what is the thought? What is the thought process?
We're two different athletes. We have two different skill sets, obviously, and for me, I knew I was going to battle adversity. You always do. If you go into a fight thinking you're never going to battle adversity, then when you run into it, you're going to have a big mental block and like, damn, I thought this was going to be easy or whatnot. So I didn't let Eddie's performance affect my performance or my mindset. I was focused on going out there and taking it to Yuya Wakamatsu, and that's what we did.
Last thing, first one fight week, first one fight, first one win. In a few sentences, sum up this whole experience this week and getting the win and being here in Sumo Hall in Tokyo and the whole deal.
Dream come true, amazing, grateful, honored, and can't wait to be back.